Hello students. Today we will see on XML processing and web services, which is one of the chapter coming under module 5. First we'll see about the objectives of this chapter: XML overview, processing, JSON, overview of web services, consuming web services in PHP, creating web services, synchronous web services. So you have one experiment on XML also. So first we'll look onto the first section of this chapter, that is XML overview. It is long form of this is extensible markup language. It is also a markup language, but unlike HTML, it can be used to mark up any type of data. It has its own benefits, like data is that it is a plain text. It can be read and transferred between applications and different OSs, as well as being a human readable form. XML is used on the web server to communicate asynchronously, used as a data interchange format for moving information between systems also. These are all the advantages. We'll see diagram showing how XML works. You can just observe here. Here is a user who is requesting to determine validity of a document's HTML. A validator compares the document to an XML based schema file. Then the request is sent to knowledge management system through the web server, right? And then some document management system uses XML as a presentation neutral file format, and it is sent to the web server back. And if there are any Excel SLTs are used, that is XSL style sheets are used, those are attached by means of web server, right? Web server is often used as the this is often used as the XML is used as a data exchange format between different systems and applications also. You can request and you can use it for the data interchange format, right? And it can also, some DBMS systems export the data in XML format. Those can be read and written in the XML format. Like this, you can also directly have an interaction with the database servers also, right? Apart from this, if you are sending a synchronous request, XML is JAX based applications are commonly used for converting that request into a service. So this is all the advantages of XML are visible over here, as you can see. So well-formed XML. For a document to be well-formed, XML is must follow the syntax rules. For XML, it is mandatory to follow the syntax rules in XML, unlike HTML. That is also one of the difference in compared to the HTML and XML. Element names are composed of any of the valid characters. Usually special characters are not allowed, like punctuation symbols, spaces in the element name. You remember that we can create our own tags in case of XML. That's a major difference in HTML. You can define your own set of tags here. So that what we call as elements, right? Tags means element. Elements names can be composed. We can define our own element names. Element names can't start with a number. This is what the rules we use for variable declaration that has to be followed when we are taking a element name or tag name which you want to define ourselves using XML. There must be a single root element. A root element is one that contains all other elements. For example, if you take a HTML, in that root element is HTML itself, right? All the documents begin with HTML, and that is closed at the end. Similarly, every XML document must have a root element, and every element must have a closing element or be self-closing at least, right? So this is mandatory. Okay, elements must be properly nested. Nesting rules have to be properly followed here. Elements can contain the attributes, like what we did with the HTML tags. Attribute values must always be within the quotes. Element and attribute names are both case sensitive in case of XML. See, these all are saying that it is having a well formed structure compared to the HTML, right? XML is very strict in syntax. Okay, so you can create your own elements it is following almost same rules as we follow for declaration of a variable. For giving a element name, it should not start with a number, it should not have a punctuation symbols or special characters or spaces as a part of the element name. Okay, you must define a root element, right? Every element must have a closing element. Okay, it must be properly nested. They may contain the attributes, right? The values must be quoted here, right? The values of the attributes that we use inside the element must be quoted, and both the element name and attribute names are case sensitive. So this is an example of a well formed example, right? So the first line is mandatory. In any XML document you should specify what is the compiler of XML you are using and what is the encoding scheme you are using. Okay, first line. Then in this particular document there is a root element, which is the root element here, art has started here and closed here, whereas in case of HTML we are starting with HTML, no, right? Here it is replaced by art. It may be different for different applications, right? So we have certain what elements created, like a painting with its attribute is ID. As you can observe, every attribute must be quoted, so this 290 is kept in the quotes. It's also having one more tag as title, then it is having artist as a tag, right? It is having block tag in which several other tags are enclosed. You can see you are writing name as a tag, right? Name, it is written here, nationality another tag embedded inside artist, and then artist is closed. Okay, that's what we are saying, it is properly nested or not, right? So once artist data are over, that is closed here, artist tag is closed. And make an observation that every tag opened is closed, right? You cannot leave unclosed like the way we used to do in HTML. Okay, similarly you have here medium, then painting is also a block tag containing several inline tags and other block tags inside it. Painting is closed here. Okay, so this is the information regarding one particular painting, and here is another set of information related to another painting whose ID is 192. Okay, and like this you have three paintings detail here. So these all are enclosed within one block tag or one root element, that is art. So this is how we can say that this is a well structured or well formed XML document. Okay, valid XML document means what, that we'll see here. A valid XML document is one that must be well formed and whose element and content conform to a document type definition, or that what we call as a DTD, or it should be with respect to a schema, right? See, as you know that every XML document can have its own set of what elements, right? So you must have certain schema in order to tell that what is the meaning of that particular tag, what is the meaning of that particular element. Okay, for that we make use of DTD. So what is the data type definition, what is its uses? It tells the XML parser which elements and attributes to expect in the document, as well as the order and nesting of these elements, which are defined by this particular data type definition. DTD can be defined within an XML document, or you can make use of an additional external file also. It can be embedded within XML, or you can have a separate file as well. With the DTD, independent groups of peoples can agree on a standard DTD for interchanging of data. It helps in data interchanging. Okay, so we'll see one example of a DTD here. You can just observe an example here. You are starting with the XML version, right? You are writing a DTD here. We'll see the details about this entire DTD example in next video lecture. Thank you.